Alright, so let's try playing a game of... I could do standard. There's some open. Let's see if there are any... of these going on. Any commander games? There is almost one. Let's join that. Let's see if the window actually came up for y'all. There we go. We got 3 people so far. I don't even think I'm going to post this video, but I might. We got 4 people. So let's see how long it takes for the host to start the game, or if we're getting it with 5 people. I guess I wouldn't really mind 5 people. It's not like I'm trying to record this or anything and people will need to actually be able to see the cards. Ha ha ha. We got 5. Oh well. I am fine with this. I'm going to do the old good luck, have fun. The chat will remain off screen because there are 4 opponents. I'm gonna want to go yes. There is no reason not to in a multiplayer game because we all get to draw a card anyway. Speaking of going first, this hand is probably keepable. I mean, I'd like another land for the Fertilid, but I'm gonna keep anyway. So we got a Yisan up here, Yisan. I'm from Texas, so it'll probably be Yisan. There we go. Search for creatures. Pretty good guy. Mono green. We got a Carador, who seems to be very popular recently. I have seen a lot of him going around. We have a foil Sharoom, the Hegemon. This guy's probably a combo-y player. We're probably going to lose to that. I get to go first. Draw land. I'm going to go ahead and F8 because I watched Tom's stream and he says to F8 and I agree that it's a good idea. And then our 5th opponent, extra bonus 5th player, is Riku of the 2 Reflections. There's a lot of text on here. He gets to copy spells and tokens. It's pretty good. Could be any number of decks. Rug good stuff or some kind of thing that combos with Riku maybe. I don't know. We get an Elvish Mystic down here. The 1-drops for the Yisan deck. Pretty important. We got a Wayfarer's Bauble, who I believe they get to come back if he gets up to 6. I doubt he will be using it on a Wayfarer's Bauble, but you never know. Going through the cards in my hand, I have a Uyo, Silent Prophet, who's pretty good. Lets me copy spells. Copying spells is fun. Also lets me save lands if that's important. It's probably not. I'm going to play out my other force. Tap them both, and I'm going to pass. Going through the other cards in my hand, I got a Consecrated Sphinx, who is probably the card that I'm going to want to play the most, because it gets me lots and lots of cards. Cyclonic Rifts, pretty good at saving me and setting back opponents and all that fun stuff. Champion, solid creature. Probably the 3-drop I want to... Well, maybe not. I might want to play Fertilid first, but Champion would be a solid second choice. Comes out, gets bigger, stops your guys from being blocked. It's pretty good. Fertilid lets a player search for a land. I have given this to other people on occasion. One time. I might do it again one day. Who knows? Could be used to save someone or set up someone's mana so they can wipe so we don't all die or something. You know, fun stuff. I'm trying out this card. I have a feeling that it's going to be a 6/6 for 5 most of the time. If it's not, you know, get to destroy something that's acidic slime, but bigger without death touch. And we got Gin Wave, and Gin Wave is good. It lets you, you know, flip over a whole bunch of stuff, put a whole bunch of stuff into play, not playing all that many non-creature permanents, and we're in trouble. We didn't draw land. I'm gonna tap and pass, and hopefully draw land next turn. Got a couple of turns before it starts getting bad. I guess Uyo is the worst card in the hand. It takes like 8 to actually play and use. I mean, it's flying 4/4. This is a flying 4/6, though. You know, just discard the Uyo. Maybe someone else will take it or something. For the turn, we drew Mystic Genesis, which is expensive and counters things and puts an ooze into play. Hopefully, I can get something good with it. Probably not going to get anything from the Yissen player unless he has to recast his commander. The Showroom player, or the Carador player, I'll probably get something good from, though. No telling what's going on in the Riku deck. He played a Growth Chamber and bounced a land to his hand. And discarded Zealous Conscripts, which is a scary card to go against. Take stuff. Houston attacks the... Who is this? This is Carador deck. I'm assuming these two players, the Carador and the Showroom, are going to get burned down pretty fast. Got a Predator Ooze coming down. It's a good card. It's a good card. Doesn't get destroyed. Not afraid of anything. My Mystic Genesis is all wonky. There we go. We haven't talked about my commander yet, which is Prime Speaker Zegana. Comes into play with +1/+1 counters on it, equal to the greatest power among creatures I control, which is important for things like, I believe it gets around Torpor Orb and Humility and some other stuff like that, because it enters with them, not when it enters, put them on it. And then you also draw that many cards, which Torpor Orb does stop. Fun. But normally the goal of this deck is to just play a couple things, get them big, refill my hand with Zegana, wait for someone to wrath the board, and do it again. Ramping is very important. The reason I kept the 2-land hand initially is because I have Farseek and Rampant Growth and Nature's Lore, I think it is, the other, and Explore, and all the little 2-mana play an extra land, put an extra land into play things. I'm actually maybe not running all that many lands in the deck. Maybe I should be running a couple more. I think I have 36, maybe 37 in here. I figured I have enough ramp to get by with that much. The other reason maybe I should have mulliganed was that the first mulligan in a multiplayer game still brings you up to 7 cards, so there's no reason not to, I guess, unless your first hand's good. I don't particularly like aggressive mulliganing, you know, heroes never mulligan, as Day 9 says, and we are rewarded. Kind of. It's a turn late, but we get the Fertilid down, and Fertilid is important to our plans. Hopefully there's no wraths going around or anything like that. I missed how the Predator Ooze got a counter. It didn't attack, and maybe it blocked something and that thing died. I shall scroll through. Let's see. Plays land, plays land. The Phyrexian Revoker attacked the Predator Ooze, which probably means the Carador player wanted it to die, so he could give it a different name, or forgot that Predator Ooze has Indestructible, I guess. And we got a Gale Powder Mage coming down, Kithkin Wizard. For the Showroom deck, exile another target creature. What did this target? Attacks. Never mind. It hasn't got to attack yet. He's okay. Took three. It's a solid choice. We got a Orin Reef the Vastwood coming down. put counters on things. Things that come into play with Yissen. Pretty good. He's leaving up the put a verse counter and search. So he's going to get a 1-1. Maybe another one of these kind of guys. Maybe some kind of like sedge scorpionish thing. And oh my, we got a survival coming down. Survival's probably bad for everyone. It's gonna let him search for things he needs and pitch big stuff into the yard to bring back later with reanimation stuff. Right now he's just got the revoker. So this is still the part of the game where everyone's kind of ramping up. I'm probably gonna double fertilid next turn. Take off a counter to get a land, then use that land. Nope, never mind. Comes into play tapped. If I draw a land, I can double fertilid. If I don't draw a land, well, if I don't draw a land, that makes me want to fertilid even more. But I also kind of want to play the champion. I'd rather play a 4-drop, but I don't have a 4-drop. So hopefully I draw a land and get to double fertilid. We got a coming in, triggered ability on the stack. Return that card to the battlefield at the beginning of next end step. So this doesn't particularly affect us. He might use it to reset the Predator Ooze and make it into a 1-1 again. No, he's targeting this guy, and then he didn't actually activate the ability to put something into play with it. Okay. So I got exiled. It's gonna come back unless he comes back at end of turn. Now it has summoning sickness and he can't use it. So I guess he's gonna use this to lock this down. No one's attacking me or the Riku player yet because we kind of had slow starts here. Oh, we got a familiar down. Familiars could be bad. I don't know how much of a storm deck the Sherium deck is. The mushroom deck. I'll just call it Shroom. Mushroom's fine. We got a commander coming down here. Riku of the Two Reflections. It's 2/2. I imagine if he gets to untap with it, it might be nice. Oh, and we get an Explore. An Explore's nice because it gives us chance to hit a land, which is kind of what we want here. We want to hit a land. We didn't hit a land. We're horrible. We are scum. We suck at this game. I'm just gonna tap. I'm not blocking with Fertilid, so I'm gonna attack with Fertilid. I kind of want to attack Elwood because he doesn't have a creature. It's usually a good region to attack someone. But I very much have a dethroned mindset, so I always attack the person with the highest life total unless there's some reason for me not to. If he blocks with Riku, he'll have to pay 7 to cast it again. I think that's fine. I don't see any real problem with doing this. If he eats my Fertilid, trades with it, whatever, you know, so be it. You know, he's probably just gonna take 2, and then I'll probably take 2 from his commander or something. Because his commander's abilities don't tap, so he's free to attack with it, even though it is a 2/2 with no relevant combat abilities. So there's also a good chance he won't attack or block with it at all, ever this entire game. Similarly, Yissen probably won't ever attack or block unless it's like a 2/3 blocking a 2/2, which is one of the reasons I'm not attacking Yissen right now. Yissen, Yertle. We got... He wouldn't have blocked with this either, so it would have been safe to attack the Mushroom player, but the Mushroom player has the least life right now. He's being attacked. We got priorities passing around here. Waiting for Elwood. If I wasn't trying to... Oh, there we go. Yay, we hit him for 2 damage. 2 damage. You can't see my mouse, can you? I'm hovering over the 38. We did 2 damage. Not first blood, not like second blood or anything like that, but we got some blood. Some blood's good. The mushroom player's getting attacked again by the predator ooze. Is now a 4/4. But the mushroom player can toggle it with the Gale Powder Mage and reset it back to 1. So it's probably not going to get too out of hand. If somehow this gets murdered, probably not realistically getting murdered. I don't think the Carador deck's running that kind of card, but if the board gets wiped or some other things going on, you know, this stays, this goes most of the time. We got a Seeker of Skybreak coming down. Untap target creature. Get an extra activation out of the Yissen. It's pretty good. He uses Yissen to get the Uvenwald Tracker, and then puts a counter on both the Tracker and the Seeker. Tracker is interesting, lets you fight another creature with a creature you control. If it weren't for the flavor of this card, it probably would have been reprinted recently in cons. I'm kind of sad it wasn't, actually. It seems like a perfect card for the Temur clan, Femur, Beamer thing. We got some survival of the fittest nonsense going on. Cross de Guildgate was discarded for Duplicant, and then Duplicant was discarded for Basking Root Wallet. So he will probably just slam that Root Wallet into play because it's such a overpowered magic card, that 1/1 that you can play for free. No, he's not. He is casting Beacon and exiling Predator Ooze. So the Predator Ooze goes bye-bye. And the Duplicant is now a 1/1 Ooze. It doesn't actually get any of the abilities, so it is now just a 1/1 for 6 that killed this guy. Who's going to hang out over here because reasons. Okay, let's just... yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, I drew a card for the turn. Academy Elite. I'm probably going to wait a while before playing this. Hopefully there's no wheel effects going on making me discard my hand, but wait for a couple of instants and sorceries to get cast for each player. Then I get to drop this as like a 10/10 or something and start looting with it. It'll be fun to loot. Discard all this gas to get lands to fuel the gas. Okay, we got the 3/3 coming in at Banelock, the Yissen player. Probably to reset Yissen again. Yisan. The 1/1 Stormscape Familiar is also coming in. He played an Azorius Guildmate, which is pretty good. It affects my Fertilid, but I don't really believe he's going to be trying to counter my land searches. I could be wrong. Azorius Guildmate, kind of a non-bow with the Stormscape Familiar, which should reduce its cost by 2, but it actually has no colored mana in its cost, so its cost is not reduced by any. Fun fact. We got some damages being dealt. Tide Hollow Sculler coming down. Powerful magic card. Targeting me. Oh no. He's gonna take probably... I actually don't know what he would take. Cyclonic Rift's bad for everyone, although I'm far away from 7. I'm also far away from 6, because Consecrated Sphinx is bad. It's going to get pretty much cloned by everyone on the table. Mystic Genesis is a counterspell. Even though I'm 2 away from counting it, I suppose he's going to try to do something that he doesn't want to get countered later on. So we're just going to have a Mystic Genesis sitting here, pretending to be a creature. Yeah. I probably wouldn't have taken Mystic Genesis. It's just a keep everyone fair type card. Oh, he flickered the duplicates? Oh, jeez. Oh, man. So duplicate gets to hit something else. There might be some collusion going on here between the Carador and the Mushroom player. Dang. He's targeting Riku. Riku, who's a 2/2, and gets to get replayed after 2 turns and he plays 2 lands. I probably wouldn't have gotten the Riku player with it. Oh, it's a... Oh, okay, I get you. Because Riku was sent to the command zone instead of just to the exile zone, Duplicant's power and toughness are reverted to its default, which is a 2/4. Luckily, it's not like a clone that becomes a 0/0 or something like that. If there's collusion going on here, that makes sense why the Duplicant's not targeting like the familiar, which could get scary, or you probably wouldn't target the Sculler. It's not really doing anything. Oh no! Prophet of Krufix coming down. That's probably what he should have hit with the Duplicants. He should have waited a turn, gotten it later. There's not all that much stuff that's interesting for the Duplicant to hit. I don't really agree with him even... Well, I agree with him getting the Predator Ooze out of the way with it, but I also have Predator Ooze in this deck, so hopefully I won't get blown out by that. But right now, we didn't draw land again, and it's our turn with our promo Arbiter of the Ideal that I'll go over in a minute. So I'm going to Fertilid, because the only lid that's worth anything is a Fertilid or something. So targeting myself, because screw these other guys for the moment. I need lands to do anything. And I'm going to get an island. And then I'm going to tap this land, and I'm going to pass. And this time, I am not going to attack. We have 0 good attacks with the Fertilid, and it is far too valuable to trade for something that's not, like, you know, good. Yeah, none of this stuff... All this stuff would trade with it, but none of it was good. And I couldn't attack into the 2/4, that'd be dumb. And I can't attack into the 2/3, because that'd be dumb. And this is actually just a 1/1 now, so these guys, probably neither of them would block it, but if I had attacked first and Fertilided second, then maybe he would have blocked, who knows. I probably would have just, you know, lost my extra counter. We got a Brutalizer Exarch coming down. Guess search for a creature card or put a non-creature permanent, sorry, on top of the owner's library. And the mode chosen, putting Survival of the Fittest on top of the Carador player's deck. I don't really see... So the Carador player is going to draw the Survival of the Fittest. I guess he doesn't get to do any shenanigans with it next turn, besides the fact that it just costs 2. So it's probably gonna get replayed next turn. But you know, value or something. I probably would have searched for a card and put it on top. I guess it's possible one of these players could be running some kind of mill, probably one of the blue players. We got some stuff going on. We got a Lightning Strike. Lightning Strike. The Riku player gets to untap every turn, so he's casting a Lightning Strike targeting the Exarch. And so the Yisla player is fighting the Exarch with the now deceased Prophet of Krufix, which is good because Prophet of Krufix is broken and disgusting. And I had no way really of dealing with it besides just bouncing it to his hand. So, not going to try that right now. Okay. We're going to let the Carador player do his thing for a minute there. We're going to go over Arbiter of the Ideal as inspired. It's flying 4/5. When it untaps, you reveal the top card. If it's a permanent that's not a enchantment or a planeswalker, artifact, creature, or land, you put it into the battlefield, and it has a counter, and it is an enchantment now. It's fun. We might be able to hit something sweet with this. Hopefully just lands. Lands would be nice. We're a couple of turns away from that. We have the Carador commander coming down. Cost less for each creature in your graveyard, so all that survival of the fittest was reducing his cost. Excuse me. And you also get to play creatures from your graveyard, 1 a turn. Pretty strong. I've heard that Carador is one of the top tier commanders. You can just kind of go crazy and just play lots of valuable creatures that are broken and recur a lot of stuff. I kind of wish I had a Bajuka Bog, but my banner base is forest. It's an island, so putting a black mana source in here doesn't really do all that much. There's not many, exile target graveyard type effects in green-blue. I could possibly have some kind of Time Twister effect. I have some of those. They're not in this deck though, because it makes no sense to put those kind of things in this deck. Most likely, actually, I wouldn't think any of the players in the game are playing a spell that removes the graveyard unless it's like a Necrogen Spellbomb or something for the Carador player, and he gets to exile other people's graveyards. He's not going to play Rest in Peace or anything like that. Mushroom also gets stuff from graveyard, so it's unlikely that they have Rest in Peace either. And they're the only two that could have that color. They're the black, white. Those are usually the two mono fair. Hey, my Mystic Genesis moved for some reason. So either Mushroom or Carador would probably have that effect, and neither of them are going to play it on each other. Collusion. Uh-oh. What color was chosen? We got a washout coming down. Return all permanents of the color of your choice. And it was green! The bastard. Gets all my stuff and all of Yisen's stuff. Of course, by all my stuff, I mean the one Fertilid. Well, if I draw a land, it's not bad, because I can play Fertilid and then get another land. Which is kind of what I'm banking on. I would also return Carador to hand, which is a good effect. So he's going to blink another target creature, probably Core Skyfisher. I don't know if he's going to want to do that, because then he has to bounce something else. Bounce Tidehollow Sculler. So I get my Mystic Genesis back. I now have 9 cards in hand and 4 lands, which is not the position I'd like to be in right now. Duplicant still in the battleground. Okay, he's pointing at the Carador player, so there is no longer collusion going on. I wish I could. Okay, this is kind of silly. Okay, we got Carador gets exiled by Tidehollow Sculler, so it goes to the command zone. There's a pretty good use of Tidehollow Sculler. Crap. I should have. So his other cards were a Sword of Fire and Ice, which is one of the swords in the cycle. Protection from red and blue, and deal 2 damage to something and draw a card when you deal combat damage to a player. I believe it's combat damage. It's a pretty darn sweet card. Doesn't do all that much against us. We have some blue creatures, but not all that many. He also had an Eternal Witness, which gets a card from his graveyard back to his hand. Really good when you're discarding everything to a Survival of the Fittest. He also had a Basking Rootwalla, which is a solid 1-drop creature that gets Madness 0. He also had a Big Game Hunter, which had Madness of a black, which is pretty good. Destroys a creature with power 4 or greater, I believe. So it's my turn now. I did draw a land. We lucked out, and we lucked out there. Nothing really happened over here. We got Cures, Follower, and Sylvan Caryatid coming back down. I'm not quite sure I agree with that washout. I guess he was afraid of people's board positions. I'm going to play the Fertilid for 3. Everyone else is tapped out. I don't have to worry about... Well, I really doubt they're going to Force of Will the guy playing the Fertilid, but, you know, I'd accept that. We're going to get another island because we're trying to keep our mana base kind of the same. We still have to discard a card. So we're probably not going to be holding up Mystic Genesis. I know this guy took it out. I know the Mushroom player took it out of our hands because he's afraid of counterspells. So perhaps I should be keeping it. But honestly, with the way our mana is constrained, I don't really feel like holding up 5 all the time. An argument could probably be made for Gin Wave, but if the game starts going long and we get like a Boundless Realms or something and get a lot of mana, then Gin Wave starts getting good. So I'm going to discard the Mystic Genesis. People know about that card anyway. I don't really want to discard something they don't know about. Let them think it's whatever they want it to be. Next turn, I am not going to play my commander unless someone somehow makes my Fertilid huge. I don't actually particularly want to draw cards right now. I still have 7 cards in hand and I'm discarding at the end of turn, so it doesn't make all that much sense. I want to play probably Arbiter of the Ideal, even though no one knows about that. There could probably be a point for Champion into Academy Elites if I draw land. You're hearing a lot of if I draw land. Drawing lands is good in Commander. In fact, that's one of the reasons I wanted to mulligan was just to get more lands in my hand. Like, if I had 7 lands, well, that would probably be a mulligan. But 5 lands and 2 spells is probably a keep, because there's a spell you can almost always cast, which is your commander. So I could always cast and draw a card, if nothing else. We got a Green Sun Zenith coming down for 6. This could be literally anything, like a Vigor or a not a Primeval Titan because that's banned. It could be, if it wasn't banned, it would be Primeval Titan most likely. He's doing it for 6 and leaving up the thing to put a +1/+1 counter on it, so he may get something that's not a 6-drop. Doesn't particularly matter to me. Other good 6s. Get a sleepy message from Mushroom player. He wants us to hurry on. I did not notice what the time restraint in this game was. It was 25 minutes at start, most likely. We got some guys dipping down to 15 minutes and 19 minutes for Carador and Yisun. The Mushroom player is actually lower than the Yisun player, so I don't know what they're complaining about. They did the Z's for sleeping. If you had Cloud Thresher would actually be real good. In fact, I don't know why I don't have Cloud Thresher in my deck, because I have Green Sun Zenith too, and Cloud Thresher is just like big and beefy, and it deals damages to flyers, and has Flash and Evoke, and all sorts of lines of text that are good. It's a 7/7. 7/7s are big. It's bigger than everything else out here. Almost bigger than everything else out here combined. Not really, but, you know. Bigger than almost what anyone else would have. We got Silklash Spider coming down. Being a 3/8 and being huge. Big butt. Only butt bigger would be the towering tower shell. Meandering tower shell, I'm sorry. From Cons coming out this weekend. The pre-release. But yeah, I love this. I got one of these in like Onslaught when I first started playing, and it's been like one of my favorite creatures. The art's sick, the card's sick. It's not really overpowered. It's barely powered, but it's just huge, and it just blocks everything. It's got reach, can wrath the air, pretty much. It's a good card. We got a Fauna Shaman coming down. The survival of the fittest on a stick. We got Mushroom coming down. Mushroom's targeting. It is targeting Wayfarer Bauble. I apologize to any Wayfarer Bauble fans who were yelling at me that he would definitely get Wayfarer's Bauble because it's I kind of figured the Mushroom player would have better artifacts in his graveyard when he played his commander. I was mistaken. He did not. He had a Wayfarer's Bauble. He probably really wanted Tide Hollows. No, I don't even think he would have really wanted Tide Hollow Sculler. It's not really doing anything. Flyers all heading at Carador. This guy's probably going to go at Carador or Yasin or me, or probably not me. No one's attacked me. I'm not a threat. I like not being a threat. They're probably expecting me to like play champion and Fertilid or something next turn, which is probably what I'm going to do. But they don't need to know that. I could Fertilid into Academy Elite if I don't draw land, which would be very good, because Academy Elite is 1, 2, 1, 2. Are any of these attacking me? We got a Sculler coming in at me, and a Guild Mage. You know, 4 damage is fine. I don't feel like throwing my Fertilid away for that. The land is more important than the 4 damage. I'll gladly pay 4 life right now to put a land into play tapped. So we got 2 in my graveyard, none in his, none in his. 2 here, so that's 4, 5, 6. We got 6. So Academy Elite would be a 6/6. I would kind of hope to do better. I would also kind of hope to be able to play it and loot once or twice in the same turn for value, in case there's like Wrath or some other nonsense going on. I don't actually have any Wrath effects in my deck, but we got some red over here. Red has like Blasphemous Act and Fires, and he's probably not actually running any of those cards, but he could be. We got Riku coming back down. The Sharam deck, Mushroom, probably has some Wraths. If he's running a lot of artifact creatures, he can Wrath the board, then play Mushroom and get them back. This guy most definitely has some sort of Wrath in his deck. But first, let's go over our turn. So we drew a land, so I'm gonna play the land. Playing land's good. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. We could play a 5-drop in Fertilid. Nessian Demolock does nothing on this board. So he's gonna be 3/3 and blow up a land, which, I mean, I could get the Simic Growth Chamber and screw over the Riku player, but that's a dick move. I'd probably end up like killing one of these lands. That's real good. But I don't really want to play the Demolock because that's just a 3/3. So if I don't Fertilid, then I can play Arbiter and get a 4/5 flying blocker into play that this guy can fluke in and out or whatever. But then I can attack with it and maybe get to untap with it. Probably not, though. I think it's safer just to play champion and then get a land and leave up Cyclonic Rift. I'm sure they know I have it, so I'm not too worried about it. I also do not really want to use Cyclonic Rift, but there's a chance the Mushroom player has some kind of bizarre, wacky, infinite combo that he's going to do next turn, and I might need to bounce something to stop that nonsense, because stop that. We don't want no infinite combos coming down. I could also just use it to bounce a creature that's attacking me. Although I have more than one life right now, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm winning. But there's 4 other people winning in this game, and in the end, well, we could draw, but most likely there will be a winner at the end of this game. We got... Oh, this is also a good reason not to play the flyer, which I didn't actually think about, was that Silklash can just wrath all the flyers. He's currently not going to, though. He's going to play Yisun. And, because it got bounced to his hand earlier with the washout. Okay, so he can currently spider for 1, 2, for 5, for 4. I wish he had. So he's got 4, 5, 6, so he can wrath for 4. 4 gets every flyer but Sharoom. Mushroom. He gets the 2-3, the 3-3, the 1-1. Those are the only flyers. So he'd just be screwing over the Mushroom player. Screwing over the Mushroom player might be a good idea, though, at this point. And if he was doing that, he would only need to do it for 3, because these are 3. Yeah. So that's what he's doing. He's spidering for 3. Kill some flyers. Get him a 3 for O, actually. Silklash Spider can block Mushroom all day anyway. He doesn't particularly care about that. And he's going to prioritize getting the 1-1 counter on his Yisun and making it a 3-4. Riku already showed that he has Lightning Strike and such, so there's a good chance he would try to cast a spell and copy it and maybe try to burn something out. And he'd have to use both of them on Yisun, unless he has like Flame Slash or Stoke or something. Which is a good chance he's not actually running. And we got Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp is really good. Keep F2ing here. F2, just clicks OK automatically pretty much. F6 says I'm not doing anything this turn, just past my priority. I don't care anymore. We got a Final Shaman activation, discarding a creature, getting a creature from his deck and putting it in his hand. The discarded card is Yawn. Big Game Hunter. Madness of Black comes into play, destroys target creature with power 4 or greater. There's only one creature with power 4 or greater, and that's Mushroom. So can be regenerated. Gonna get blown up, sent back probably to the command zone. I'm just gonna keep F2ing here. I'm second on time after the Riku player who's managed to tap out every turn, but I still think I can just, F2 some, Cyclonic Rift something, maybe. I don't particularly care about the Fauna Shaman right now. It's getting him mad value, and he's getting a Yavimaya Elder, which is also mad value. Which is most likely playing right now. We got the... No, he's equipping the Big Game Hunter with the Skull Clamp. He's got 4 cards in hand. He's got 2 mana open. I could bounce the Big Game Hunter with Cyclonic Rift. There's 2 things that this does. One, he can't actually replay the Big Game Hunter right now. He doesn't get to draw the 2 cards. He doesn't get to put it in his graveyard. 2, and probably more important, I get to F8 and I don't have to actually hold priority. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I actually don't have Eternal Witness in this deck, which is something I've been meaning to deal with and put in here, but it's like 1.5 tickets, and for some reason I don't have one, and I have one ticket, and like 49 points of credit at stores that sell it for 1.5 tickets. So I'm like 0.02 tickets away from just purchasing one, and I don't really feel like putting money in or trading cards right now. So right now my deck is Eternal Witnessless. It's moments like this when I wish I had an Eternal Witness, because it boosts up the Champion of Lamhold, gets back Cyclonic Rift, because Cyclonic Rift is nuts, and oh god, we got a Liliana coming down. So we got a Liliana Invest, target player discards card, tutor for a card, put it on top, which is what Mushroom player is doing. I'm not a big fan of tutor effects. I say in Commander, it leads to decks with just a combo and just lots of tutors to get the combo. But I do run like Tooth and Nail and Green Sun Zenith, so I guess I shouldn't be too judgeful about it, because those are technically tutor effects. They're even probably worse than tutor effects because they just put them into play. But I usually don't do combo pieces with that. I usually do like a acidic slime to destroy some troublesome permanent of some sort that's not a creature, or a I'm not even did I even put, I don't think I put Prophet of Krufix in here. Let me see. I have Prophet of Krufix, and Prophet of Krufix deserves to be in blue-green decks, but it's not. The 5 mana creature of my choice is a Fleet Feather Cockatrice, which has flash, so renders Prophet of Krufix moot, and it is no longer valuable because of Fleet Feather Cockatrice. So this is my deck. I wasn't really going to go over it. We've got an event going on here. People, Riku's, thinking. I guess I can go over my deck some. This is my deck. I have 36 lands, which is probably one or two too few. But I have a lot of ramp. I got Farseek, Explore, Nature's Lore, Rampant Growth, Far Wanderings, Cultivates, Kadama's Reach, Explosive Vegetation, Ranger's Path. Lots of getting lands. I think I even have a Realm Seekers and a Boundless Realms. Lots of getting lands. Lands are good. This was originally going to be a counter deck, stuff like Predator Ooze that gets counters, and Colonian Hydra, which doubles counters, and I was going to put like Doubling Season and the new Abzan Hardened Scales or whatever. Let me check on the game. Get lots of extra counters and do countery things, and maybe even put counter spells in. And I just have ended up putting a bunch of just random stuff. We got Twin Cast in here because it might be fun. We got Chasm Skulker, even though we have like 2 draw card spells. We got, well, besides the obvious Prime Speaker. We got some decent stuff. I kind of want to try out Nessian Wild's Ravager because it's either huge or it fights something and could kill things. It's good. We got a Reclamation Stage because, if you can't afford to put Acidic Slime into play, you probably afford to put a Reclamation Stage into play, and they do essentially the same thing. We got some overpowered stuff. We got a Forgotten Ancient. We got a Avenger of Zendikar. We got a Vigor. Hydra Broodmaster, Deadeye Navigator, Consecrated Sphinx. Big stuff, big beefy stuff. I kind of wanted to land. I kind of wanted to not just dirtle around and play a lot of small stuff. You'll see what my opponents are doing is they're getting a lot of elephant tokens. Probably Terastodon. Yeah, Terastodon came down and like blew up all the stuff for Elwood, the Carador player, and he got some elephants. So now it's my turn. I have a 1/1. I would like to get some other stuff. I have 9 mana, so I can cast Jinwei for 6, which I don't really want to do right now. I could cast Consecrated Sphinx and start refilling my hand. Cast Arbiter of the Ideal. Either Sphinx or Arbiter will probably get killed by the Silklash Spider. Academy Elites is actually probably bigger than a 10-10 right now. So I'm going to cast Academy Elites. And no. I guess I'll cast Academy Elites and... No, screw it. I'm just going to play Arbiter of the Ideal. Get a 1/1 counter on my champion. Get a 4/5 flyer into play. Maybe in 2 turns from now get a free card. Probably not. It's probably going to just get Wrath with the Silklash Spider. But if that's what he's using his mana for, you know, whatever. I'd rather him kill the Arbiter than kill the Consecrated Sphinx. This gives me some play against someone else playing a flying creature. I might just hold it back. Sadly, I don't have a Kadama's Reach or some other card to make a land drop and put a land into my hand. Which would be the perfect card right now for me. Would be a Cultivate or a Kadama's Reach. But I don't have that. And I don't feel like bluffing a counterspell, so I'm going to tap my mana and I'm going to pass. And I'm now F6'd. And unless... Oh, I could attack someone. Does someone have only... creatures with power less than Champion Advance? Okay, so 2/2s can block it. And everyone has 2/2s. So, not attacking. This is actually a very good card if you can get it big. It just makes all your stuff unblockable, which is gross. So my opponents are gonna do stuff. We're gonna let them. Like I said, we got some Excel, some random just kind of bad stuff that might be fun. Some just value stuff. I probably need some stuff like the 6-drop Nakatl War Pride. I've been blown out by that before. It's a pretty good card, especially if you have stuff to give it haste, which my deck doesn't. There's some other stuff besides Ewit and that, and there's some other like just powerful effects that I probably would like to have in the deck, but currently I don't. It's pretty fair. Just ramp into big stuff. It's a pretty common commander archetype, ramp into big stuff. Usually players will play like an Ulamog or a Kozilek, or they'd play Emrakul if it wasn't banned, I'm sure. You know, just get a whole ton of mana and just shove it out there and beat people with it. But yeah, Terastodon and I had another 9-drop, didn't I? No? 8-drop maybe? Oh well. Just big stuff. Big stuff coming down, doing things. I tried to stick to stuff that was either hard to remove or gave value or had an effect when it came into play, like Dimalock or Fertilid lets me play. So we got Tracker and Seeker and Farhaven Elf played out, and no counter put on them. He's holding up Mazavith, which... Oh, no. I'm fine with him untapping Arbiter with Mazavith. I'm probably going to start attacking this guy a lot, with hoping he will Mazavith my Arbiter, if it's untapped still. He's leaving up a Yisan activation. This taps for 2, Temple of the False God. I guess he drew this. Oh no, it doesn't have... He must have played it last turn and I missed it. So yeah, he got an extra land and put a Farhaven Elf in play. He's probably going to throw it away whenever. We got Big Game Hunter coming back down. Counter target activated ability. Oh. Oh. Oh no, it's not the madness is an alternate cost. He can't get that with at least I don't think I'm pretty sure it's it might be an activated ability. But Guildgate getting some value. Big Game Hunter coming into play, killing either Terastodon or Arbiter. Terastodon. Terastodon's a solid choice. It's a 9/9. It's big. He's skull clamping the Big Game Hunter. Took him an extra turn to do it. I'm fine with that. You know, whatever. Should probably have gotten water before I started this. I don't know if he's going to attack in with the elephants. It looks like he's not. He's just... Or, no, he might be. If I were him, I'd probably leave back that elephant to block. And attack with the non-skull clamped ones. Nope, he's attacking. Oh, he's sending all at Liliana to kill it. So Sculler is going to give him 2 cards. Because, you know, value. Guildgate's abstaining from the fight, I think. Riku has no mana to do anything. He could untap something. Mazavith doesn't do shit here, I don't think. He wouldn't... Ooh, he's giving him... Why is he... So there's just collusion abound in this game, apparently. People are tapping and untapping and attacking specific people and doing things that other players would find good. So I'm calling collusion. So Rootwalla getting Madness coming into play. It's a 1/1 that you can pay colorless and a green to give +2/+2 until end of turn once a turn. There's no pause recording button, is there? I do want to go get some water. I'm going to be right back. So here's the Bouncing Root Wall. It's a nice foily one. So I don't care about that. Am I not? Oh no, it's in the cleanup step. In the cleanup step, you can't actually F8 or anything. You have to. You cannot pass priority. There's some nonsense in the cleanup step about that. So that is why I had to do stuff there. I have no plays right now, so I'm going to run and get a water. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. My Arbiter got Necrotalled, I see. It's kind of sad, but you know, he lightning rodded pretty good. Can't really play Consecrated Sphinx as much as I want to because it's just gonna get gibbed by the Silklash Spider. But I would have been fine with the Arbiter getting gibbed. It takes like I would have untapped on my turn. It would have lost Summoning Sickness. I could have attacked with it, and then it would have had to made through a whole nother turn and gotten back to my turn to get untapped. Unless it got like Mazevith or Kyor's follower decided to be nice and untap it or something. Yay, land. Sorry. Okay, so I want to cast Prime Speaker and fill up my hand, but I want something bigger in play first. So I have 5, 9, 10. I can play Academy Elite and then Prime Speaker, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Just fill up my hand, 4, and just, because this is going to be pretty big right now, it should be. It's at least a 10-10. No, I am sorry. It is an 8-8. I was wrong. I feel bad. Okay, and now I'm going to cast my 9-9 Prime Speaker and draw 9 cards. Unless Riku player counters it. Yisun is activating his ability because, well, I guess because I didn't like bounce the board or something. I guess that's what he was waiting for. Although Riku could still cast Evacuation, or let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He also has enough to Cyclonic Rift, which he's tapping mana. So either he's countering my spell, or he is bouncing Academy Elite so I don't draw 9 cards or something. Which, I don't know why you wouldn't just let me draw 9 cards. I'm tapped out. You know, you got a whole nother turn order. And it is a Cyclonic Rift. So I am going to return my Academy Elite and such to hand. And I get to draw Kiora. So I drew Kiora. It's a Planeswalker. It's the only Planeswalker in my deck. I was going to run the new Jace with the Living Guild Pact and bounce some stuff with him. But I don't have one. And he's still like 10 tickets or something, and I don't feel like paying that much for him right now. Something could have been instead from running Big Garrick or one of the other Garricks. Any of the Garricks, really. Garricks, most all the Garricks are good, to varying degrees. Most of the Jaces are good to varying degrees. I really like Party Jace in Nekasar. Just make everyone draw a card. Howling Mine for blue, like Dictative. So it's Dictative Crewfix without, you know, Flash. I don't think it actually has any other text on it. It's just everyone draws a card. But for the most part, like blue walkers or like Tamio and Jace, they'll like tap something down or bounce one thing or do some kind of card draw thing, which is nice. But a lot of the time, it's just not all that powerful. Like at least Garrick, you can put a 3/3 into play every turn. Or like fight something and destroy a creature. I guess Jace, you get a bounce a permanent, which is pretty nice. The new one at least. But like Jace Architect of Thought, like he'll slow down attackers at you, but it's unlikely that someone has a swarm of 1/1s. Some decks will do it. Some decks will just have just tons and tons of 1/1s, and then they'll boost them. But most players, most commander decks are more geared towards the end game, I guess would be the way to put it. So my stuff got bounced. Reset my champion. Reset Academy Elite. It will be at least one bigger when I play it next time, so it'll be at least a 9/9. Apparently I suck at determining how many cards are in graveyards. I thought I guess I counted 2 in 3 people's graveyards and assumed that they were 10 because there are 5 players, but yeah, there weren't, so it was still just an 8/8. It'll be 9/9, and maybe bigger. Who knows? It could be anything. And here's a Sad Robot. Sad Robot, fantastic card. I should probably also have that in here. Gets a land, draws a card when it dies. Solid clonable card. And we got a guildmate coming down. The mushroom player has 1 card in hand. The Carador player still has 7 cards in hand, even though he played some stuff. This is kind of scary. Yusen played a bunch of 1-drop elves and a Skur Tribe Elder. It's not too scary. He still has 3 cards in hand. One's a spider. He had some other elves that he had gotten with his commander. You know, he's got lots of commandery things going on. I could probably try to remember what mushroom has, but I don't. So, Man of War. Cast. Enters the battleground. Doesn't... Is there... Okay, no. Okay. So the trigger on this stack, bounced Fauna Shaman. Man of War is a fantastic creature too, bounces when it comes into play. He's got a copy of it. The copy is going to target... I don't know where the... there should be some kind of pop-up showing his ability on the stack. I would imagine he returns Yissen. Here, returning Prime Speaker doesn't do anything. I'll just replay it and draw another card. He decides to get Rootwalla, I suppose, so he can attack for 2 on that player. He could attack me, but I'm definitely blocking because I want my commander to die so I can try to draw more cards later. We got a Farseek going down. Lucky Dog. Get that mana. He has enough to copy it. If he remembers to pay the correct mana cost for it. He does. So we got 2 Farseeks. He's going to get 2 lands from his deck into play tapped. It's almost like he cast Explosive Vegetation or Ranger's Guile or something. Almost. Those would actually be better to copy with Riku. They'd be silly. Get 4 lands? No way you could lose the game if you get to put 4 lands into play tapped. So Riku is attacking. He's attacking the Carador player. I would like to point out that we are on turn 10, and no one is under half-life. Everyone is over 20. This is why you don't play with 5 people. Because in 4-player, you can kind of team up 2-on-2, kind of. Or all go your own way, or do 3v1 or something. But once you have this many people, it's just ridiculous. Okay, so there's way too many things on the battlefield for me to try to Kiora +1. I could Kiora -1 and essentially get an Explore and then hope no one kills her. I would rather wait until a post-Wrath, like after all this junk's gone and we're waiting for more stuff. Yissen has 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he can cast Spider for 5. And then have 6 left. So 4. If he draws a land, 5. So it's unlikely he can just kill Consecrated Sphinx. So I think what I want to do is champion into Consecrated Sphinx. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It leaves me with 1 land up. I also kind of want to cast Explosive Vegetation, which also uses my mana better. So I could play Consecrated Sphinx, Explosive Vegetation, and use all my mana. So that's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3. That's too many manas. So I'm going to cast Explosive Vegetation and get a 2 forests into play, I guess. to draw some islands, which is nice. Then I'm going to tap 6, and I'm going to play Consecrated Sphinx. I am going to not attack. I would rather use her to block right now. Getting in for 1 commander damage isn't going to do anything. I get to draw 2 cards, which is awesome. I am not going to yield and always yes this. I'm already auto yielding, so I'm just going to use the ability this turn. Yeah, rising the Consecrated Sphinx sounds like a bad idea, especially like kicking it. Yeah, it's like 20 power in the air, but this guy's definitely casting Silklash Spider this turn. Ooh, excuse me again. No, he's not casting Silklash Spider. Come on, I am the person least doing broken. Okay, I'm just the Mushroom saying that Banelock has to kill Consecrated Sphinx, and I'm gonna say that I'm the player doing the least broken things right now, because I'm not, I'm just trying to play. Just trying to play things. Get the chat. I'll just hover it over here. Just the conversation. So he does cast Silklash Spider. Actually missed. All of his lands are tapped. He plays Homeward Path. He activates the ability of Silklash for 6 to kill my Consecrated Sphinx. I got to draw 2 cards with it. So I paid 6 mana to draw 2 cards and waste this guy's turn. I wasn't going to Rites of Replication it or anything. The most broken thing that would have happened would have been the player casting like clone and copying it or something to that effect to get a whole bunch of them. Really, I just wanted to draw a land. I was just going to say yes until I got a land and then stop. I have no real intention of just discarding my entire hand. I don't actually know if I'd rather play Gyre Sage or Champion of Lambholt first. Casting Champion and then kicking a Rites on it would be fun. Getting, what, 5? Yeah. So 6 total champions. And they'd all be... So the first one... Well, they'd all come in... Well, the 5 would come into play at the same time. And they'd all get 1 for each of the others. So they'd each get 4. And the original would get 5. So I'd have a 6/6 and 5/5/5 champions. Which is a lot, but they again don't have haste, so it doesn't actually get me anywhere. It just gets my board bounced or wrathed or whatever, because people are scared of that for some reason. I'm going to probably continue to try to play the Champion of Lambholt. I'll cast the Gyre Sage and then Champion and then probably Academy Elites unless I draw something good. Just get a bunch of stuff into play. Champion actually doesn't boost Gyre Sage, so I'd probably go the other way around and play the Champion first to get the extra counter on it. I really want to get the Gyre Sage up a little bit, get a tap in for lots of mana, get a nice big a Jin Wave. There goes Rites of Replication, which I wasn't actually planning on casting until I had something that was fun to cast it on. Colonian Hydra is fun to Rites. Getting 6 guys to double your counters every time you attack with them is nice. It's also a good way to get your board wiped. Basically everything my deck does, or everything anyone decks does, and he's attacking me with Necrotal, and Zori's Guildmate. And I'm going to auto snap block with the Prime Speaker. They both have 2 power, it doesn't really matter. Get that down, so I can recast it later. Probably not next turn. Don't really want to just draw a card again. Still kind of pisses me off a little bit that got bounced then, but it was a good play. You know, screwed over a bunch of people, set everyone back. I'm finally getting lands so I can cast more things, but yeah, I really would have liked to draw 9 cards with Prime Speaker Zegana. I've said before in games that my goal in a Prime Speaker Zegana deck is actually to deck myself with Prime Speaker. You know, just player for 10, draw 10 cards. Player for 10 again, draw 10 more cards. You know, all that fun stuff. We got Riku coming in, attacking me. Apparently, playing Consecrated Sphinx is the floodgate that makes you the most hated person in the draft. And by draft, I mean commander constructed game. Okay, so I'm not blocking. I have nothing to block with. Taking 2. No, taking 6. I go to 28. I now have the lowest life total. Not the Carador deck, who does broken things with his graveyard, or the Mushroom deck that does broken things with artifacts in their graveyard, or the super late game Yisun deck, where if you don't deal with him, you can, you know, he can pull anything out of his deck eventually, or the Ryu deck that gets to copy things when he plays them. No, the guy who wants to refill his hand gets attacked, of course. Okay. Well, I can't attack with my rights that's sitting there. So I'm going to play... I do have a lot of mana, but Mushroom's holding up some blue, and so is Riku. They probably don't have counter spells, but I still think I kind of want to run out the Gyre Sage and some other stuff. Is there... So if I play Dimalock, I could destroy non-creature permanent and get the Skull Clamp. That sounds like a good thing to try to do. I'm gonna play out the Gyre Sage, get a counter on the champion. Unless it gets countered. Let's see here. If they counter Gyre Sage, that's a little... Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that to get countered. So 4... And then we have 4 left. So I could play Academy Elite. I could play Academy Elite and Loot. I could play Academy Elite and Kiora. I could play... I could play Nessie and Dimalock and try to kill the Skull Clamp. Okay, so this is diplomacy time. I could just Academy Elite, but I'm not going to. I'm going to try Dimalock, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this up here, and I'm going to talk to the Riku player. Private chat. Oh. Okay, that's not really what I wanted to do, but, you know. Demo lock and target you with tribute. Will you let me kill the Skull Clamp? So, let's go to the, back to the game. Constructed. Doing some collusion here. Okay, I don't know why it keeps switching. I'm gonna... Newbie sends me a message. Not in private chat, apparently. It's not showing up. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go back to the game, find the chat log. What I played Sphinx and Free for All super lame. This has nothing to do with what I asked him. So I'm going to assume no. This guy is not only like several turns behind, or a turn behind, but he's not paying attention at all. So I'm just gonna play Academy Elite. Make it huge. No, this doesn't get countered. It comes in as an 11-11. Evolve trigger, champion trigger, trigger. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I don't particularly want to discard anything in my hand, so I don't really want to use this right now because it is draw a card, discard a card. I guess I'll play Kiora. Yes, she'll probably draw a lot of hate. I can at least bubble the mushroom. Or I could draw a card. Yeah, I will mushroom the flyer. I'm gonna mushroom the flyer, or I'll call it mushrooming. I will fog the flyer until next turn. I have decent blocks on the ground. They'll still probably get through to Kiora and kill her. I could trade some stuff around or whatever. The only thing in the air is stopped for now. I really wanted to kill the damn Skull Clamp, but apparently the Riku player is upset that I played a Consecrated Sphinx after he played Prophet of Krufix. You know, because those things are about the same level to me, about the same amount of broken. They're really good together, actually. I've done that before. Get Prophet and then flash in a Consecrated Sphinx on upkeep of a player's turn, draw some cards to cast with Prophet. It's really kind of broken together, but just casting a Sphinx to refill your hand, I don't really think is that bad. Especially because it usually doesn't last a turn. And I was going to stop drawing at some point because, you know, draw 10 cards and then discard 5 cards or whatever. You know, this is not that fun. So next turn, I will probably just Gin Wave for 1,000,000. Most likely it'll get countered, but I'll get a counterspell out of their hand, and then the turn after that, I could probably Prime Speaker again to refill, and then probably either Dimalock or Woodfall Primus or Acidic Slime and kill the Skull Clamp. Then, until then, I will wonder about how a player confuses a private chat and a public chat. He probably walked away and then came back and saw that he had a message and clicked on the chat button in the bottom. It's highlighting it down here, the chat and log down here. You click that, it brings this up. The super lame comment. Just gonna close that. But yeah. Apparently I'm not allowed to play Consecrated Sphinx, but they're allowed to play whatever else they want. We have Vastwood being activated. We have something happening from the Mushroom player. Mushroom player is countering the activated ability that puts counters on things. Probably a good thing. It would have added 4 power to the board for, or 3 power, sorry, for the Yissen deck. But I don't know how much I actually agree with using it for that. I probably would have used it on the Skull Clamp, but or the Fauna Shaman again. I actually haven't seen this card before. It's pretty neat. Pretty terrible actually. It taps for a colorless. It's not that good, but yeah, it's nice. Got a Dungrove Elder, big hexproof beater guy, really good in the mono green deck. We got some stuff coming down from Carador, who's playing a Reclamation Stage. Reclamation Stage is targeting the damage prevention mushroom. Okay, it's fine with me. You know, whatever. It it couldn't have actually done anything over the next turn anyway. But it's nice to know that everyone's paying attention. He probably just wanted to kill it because it's not definite that I will shield it again next turn. And you could have asked me. He's attacking into the Riku player. The Riku player is at 38. He is at the highest life total currently. He doesn't have enough power to actually try to trade for the Luxodon Hierarch. Yeah, Luxodon Hierarch. He could chump it with Caryatid, but I don't actually see the point in that. He probably wants as much land as he can get to. I also doubt he will block with the Kyora's follower. He might consider bouncing it. If he does have 2 cards in hand, it's possible he has like some kind of bounce ability that doesn't want to take 4, but he still has the highest life after taking 4, so it's unlikely he was actually going to use a card to try to stop that. So we got a Skull Clamp killing the Reclamation Sage. It's a very solid play by the Carador deck. I actually haven't seen Carador in a long time. There has been a lot of graveyard interaction. It's times like these that I wish that I could use like a ground seal or something in here. Although that doesn't actually affect Carador at all. So I have a land being untapped for some reason. I guess to make sure I'm paying attention. I don't actually see why he would untap a forest of mine. Especially since, I guess just so I could tap it again and continue to pass. He's someone who hates F8, I guess. Let's just tap a green and pass again. Even if he had untapped an island on his turn, I could not have paid for the Academy Elite loot effect, so there's no reason for me to hold up mana. I don't want to. I'm tapped out. I don't care. His best bet probably would have been not untapping one of my things. Would have probably been his best bet. It probably would have been untapping. If he wanted to help someone, untapping... Well, untapping Easton actually doesn't do anything. Untapping things right now doesn't help anyone unless he's helping the Carador deck by untapping lands so he can Skull Clamp more. Also, the Carador deck left up 2 mana, and did not... Well, he did discard the Basking Root Wallet. He's holding up Fauna Shaman, probably. And here comes a Shriek Maul, probably going to kill Academy Elite. Yep, Academy Elite is gone. Got a lot of mana coming down here. We got 6, 5 for Gary. Gray Merchant dealing 5 damage to everyone and gaining him 20 life, actually. It's a very nice swing. Completely fair, apparently, according to the Consecrated Sphinx comment from earlier, but, you know, whatever. He's tapping 4 mana to tap my Champion of Lamholt. So he can attack Kiora down, apparently. Attacking me. Attacking me. Yes, I still have a 2/3. Yes. So he's not attacking anyone. So it's now the Riku player's turn. So my Kiora is safe. For now. I doubt he's attacking me with Riku. He may attack with Mana War. My Gyre Sage may get bounced or tapped in or something this turn. It's a possibility. On my turn, I'll probably Gen Wave for a bunch. still, especially if I draw a land that comes into play untapped. Yep, just waiting on opponents. Since there's no one creature that would be attacking me except for maybe Gungrove Elder, which I can't even target with Kiora, there's a good chance I will just minus her. Okay, attacking me, attacking me, attacking me. No. Attacking Kiora, attacking Kiora, attacking Kiora. Okay. So Kiora's dead. I might as well attempt to trade with the Kiora's follower. Although you would think that Kiora's follower would be unable to deal damage to Kiora. But Kiora's dead. I don't get to cast a 2-mana Explorer on my next turn. Or bubble something. It's interesting. It's now my turn. I get Temple of Mystery. It comes into play tapped. It's kind of sad. But I do get to look at the top card and see what it is. It is an island. I'm probably going to hit plenty of land on the Gen Wave, so I don't actually want to draw it or hit it. I'll put it on the bottom. I'm going to tap 3. Then I'm going to tap a bunch of mana. Tap everything. Tap, tap, tap. Let's just... It's Gen Wave. Currently 11. Alright. Stuff has been hit. There's some things that aren't that important here. We got a Plasm Capture. We got in there. We got a Nature's Lore and a Primal Command and a Economist Reach, which would have been nice, but not all that important. But we did get 2 lands. Lands are good. We're going to click OK to continue. We're going to select everything here. Would I like to pay 2 life? I do not have any ability that I can activate for 2, so I'm going to say no. Type of land. Oh, no. Okay. So, so the triggers, I want to put these first because I want them to happen last. I want to go ahead and put some evolved triggers down. Let everything come into play. Get some champion triggers for creatures. Okay. I would like to destroy... I could hit Mazavith. Mazavith could get annoying later on. But I think I do want to kill Skullclamp the most. And then we have a whole bunch of O1s coming into play. So, let's do that. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. I wasn't thinking about this, but apparently I'm going to do F7 and put this on the stack. So there are all my champion triggers, and then I'm going to do this and all those triggers, and I'm going to put some 1/1 counters onto my creatures. So again, I don't have anything to do with this. So, I could kill the Carador player with my Champion of Lampholt. I could. But that doesn't seem sporting-like. So I'm going to deal a ton of damage to the Mushroom player. Although, yeah, I'm just going to deal a ton of damage to the Mushroom player. He can't block. No one can actually block any of my creatures right now. I can kill next turn with Arbor Colossus. Anyone who plays spells adds counters to Forgotten Ancient. If they Wrath, I get this back and can kill a land or something. Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be some complaints about my turn, but I don't really think anyone can complain. I'm pretty sure, besides the fact that the Riku deck's kind of been meh, I would expect them to be doing more like copying and playing big effects. The Yisun deck's about going how I would expect to build up a lot of stuff. He hasn't actually been able to get Yisun up very high, or draw like he did draw a Gen Wave, but he hasn't drawn like a Cord or anything like that either, which a Cord would be sweet for him because he has so many creatures in play. We got a big spell. He might be playing a big Gen Wave. If he can top my Gen Wave, I would be impressed. Either way, there's probably a Wrath in our future. There's not one in the Mushroom player's hand, or yeah, not one in the Mushroom player's hand because the Mushroom player doesn't have a hand. There's a good chance the Carador deck has a Wrath in their deck, and it may be in their hand. And there's also a chance the Riku player has like Blasphemous Act, which Blasphemous Act actually doesn't kill Champion of Lamholt, actually makes it bigger. So he tapped all of his lands, and he's not Gen Waving. He's activating Yisun to get a 2-drop. His 2-drop is Wall of Blossoms to draw him a card. Some sweet art. Very foily. It's a plant. Each plant creature you control. I do not control Wall of Blossoms, so I cannot actually put a 1/1 counter on it. I imagine all of this is going bye-bye soon. I don't really expect my 16 2/3 plants to live very long. The very least, there's going to be like a Anger of the Gods or a similar effect in my future. I really wish green had like a each creature fights each other creature type effect. Or creatures you control fight creatures you don't control. I should have a Cetessan Tactics in here because Cetessan Tactics would be bonkers right now. It wouldn't normally be because you'd have like last turn before I played the Gen Wave, I had a 2/3 Gyre Sage and a 3/3 champion. Or sorry, a 4/4 champion had 3 counters on it. I believe. Anyway, I could have fought both of them. I could have killed like Riku and Yisun. Could have killed some commanders, I guess. Their commanders are kind of tiny though. I don't know. It probably would have been better to wait on the Kiora until after I had 16 2/3 plants, but I didn't actually know I was going to get 16 2/3 plants. So he's looking for a creature with the Beast Tracker, a creature with Death Touch, Trample, Reach, Hexproof, whatever. I don't know if that's a minor theme in his deck. He's got a Reach there. He's got Hexproof here. There's a good chance he has at least a Sedge Scorpion. Probably something bigger with Death Touch. I'm actually not 100% on big green creatures with Death Touch. He gets an Elder Scale Worm, which has Trample, and just has general. Let's see here. It's a generally good card. If your life total is less than 7, your life total becomes 7. If you have 7 or more life, damage can't reduce you below 7. It's really good now that I have a huge unblockable thing. I would like to turn off auto yields. Ah, crap. Yes, I would like to put a 1/1 counter. I turned off auto yields, which gets rid of F8. I'm gonna let him play that. Hopefully he's not casting anything else. Oh god, Riku is the only person over 10 minutes. He's not casting another spell right now, which is sad. Patron's a pretty cool card. You untap all force and all green creatures, which affects all of my stuff too. Pretty sweet. I don't actually want all of my force to get untapped. I guess I could Monstrous this if that happens, but Don't really plan on doing that right now. Currently I have tons of mana and not much to do with it. Most likely we're all going to time out and the Riku deck's going to win right now. If he casts a card, I'm going to always yes and always yield and then F8 again. Okay, so we got a Yavimaya Elder coming down. I'm going to always yes, always yield. I'm going to F8. So now I will continue to pass things. I don't have to worry about having to say yes to the Forgotten Ancient every time he comes around. I also don't I could probably just kill everyone next turn, so I'm not really sure what's going on. No one can block any of my stuff because of Champion. So either Champion is getting like removed here, like a Path or a Swords or a Wrath or something, or I'm just going to start murdering people. I'll probably attack. I'll probably try to one-shot someone with the Champion and then swing in with other stuff at other people. Like attack for 28 with these guys, or attack all of the Saprolings at the Mushroom player, attack Champion at this guy, attack everything in the middle at this guy, and or I'll probably try to kill Riku over the Yisun deck. The Yisun deck probably can't do all that much against me. Always yield. I would like to make... I don't particularly care what gets bigger. This way I could at least leave the Forgotten Ancient back. I don't really think it matters all that much. Everyone left up lands. I'm gonna make this guy 4 toughness. I'll make him a... oh wait, no, cancel. Screw that. I want to do the Gyre Sage. Okay. That was silly of me. Okay, I'm gonna play land. Then okay. Gonna yes. Yes. I could play Prime Speaker and see if I can draw something. I think I'm just going to kill some people first. It's possible there's an Aether Spouts in my future. That's fine. If there is. If they blow me out with Aether Spouts, that's fine. I'll just recast stuff. I'll probably even copy it with... No, I'm going to attack with this guy. Okay, so you're at this guy. You can't block. You may have some way of gaining life, but that's fine. Attack all of these at this guy. That's 30 damage, and I'm also going to send another one at him. No. Unattack. Unattack. Okay. So that's 33. I can send a bunch of guys at... Newbie. So that's 15, 20, 29, because I'm going to Monstrous this guy, and then I can attack Banelock with these, and say okay, and Monstrous, 3, Monstrous. There is currently not a flyer in play. This is just for the extra 3 damage. Incoming Aether Spouts, or Evac, or Aetherize. I know it's coming. I mean, this attack is killing 3 different players, so one of them is going to do something. Probably. If they don't, then they die, and then it's me versus the mono green deck. and I'm at 22, and he's at not much, and I can refill my hand and play a couple of things with the prime speaker. Blockers have been declared. We are currently waiting on Banelock to say that he can't actually block any of my creatures. Elwood to say they can't actually block any of my creatures. Now, if for chance someone bounced the champion and could block, they would have had to actually do it during the attack step, so they can't actually do it right now. There's a chance that all 4 of them are colluding against me, but that's highly unlikely. There's a bigger chance that there's just an Aether Spouts in my future or something. I am running Aether Spouts. I expect other people to be running it. Okay, no blocks for Carador. Mushrooms trying to declare blocks. He may be attempting to, and then realizing the champion's overpowered when it has 23 counters on it. It's not overpowered when it has like 2 counters on it. It's just like, oh, you can't block with 2/2s. Sad day. You can block with your 3/3 or something. Most people don't have 25 or 24/24 sitting around they can block with. Usually if you have a 24/24, you're attacking with it, because attacking wins games. And you see all these untapped creatures? It's because they didn't attack with them, which means they are losing. There's also the fact that I'm pretty low on time. So is everyone, but essentially the Riku player. The Riku player may just be holding spells or something. He has 2 cards in hand. They could be anything. They could even be cards in hand. Okay, so no blockers. Going to passing priority here. See, we got a black. We got a colorless. We got a white. Is this vindicates a sorcery? So it's not a vindicate. It's a mortify. Mortify, targeting Gyre Sage. Okay. That's fine, you know. He's trying to save his buddy who's not taking lethal. Perhaps he has a path to exile for the champion and he'd rather just get rid of it permanently. I'm going to assume that that's what's happening because it'd be stupid to kill the Gyre Sage and not the champion in this situation when the champion's actually the one attacking him. So I'm going to pass priority to the Mortify. It's fine. I don't actually care about it. Something could have been said to casting Prime Speaker to try to draw a counterspell, except for both of my counterspells are actually in the graveyard right now. So he kills my Gyre Sage, which wasn't... I don't think I'm actually dealing lethal to Banelock right now. Okay, so I'm... yeah, okay. So they all die. And it's my main phase. He didn't actually Maze of Ith anything either, which also could have saved someone, which is a little weird. Let's just get a huge... Let's get a huge... okay. Let's actually draw one less card by stacking our triggers backwards. Normally you'd want to put the Prime Speaker trigger after, I think. We got a lot of cards. Here's our Aether Spouts and our Spell Twine and Master Biomancer and Siren of the Fang Coast and some other neat stuff. I can't play lands. I can play a Yavimaya Elder to block, which I will do. So I have 3 blockers. Most of the stuff's 1/1. I can chump the Dungrove Elder and the patron of the cleanup. I'm going to toss a bunch of stuff. Keep a forest and an island because we're good. Start this end. I don't want this. This dies. This dies. I don't think I need the evac. It might be fun to play this guy, but I don't really want to. Tooth and Nail might be good. This guy might be good. This guy might be good. Spell Twine's good. Aether Spout's good. He has kills flyers. I don't really need to get land. Don't want the Demolock, although I could probably kill the Mazavith with it. I'd rather just Green Sun for something. And I don't need both lands for my Toss of Forest. Okay. So, how our opponent wins is an overrun effect, which you could have. He is getting a lot of small things. He's tapping 8 real fast. Getting a lot of mana. Perhaps he is going to Gin Wave. Although I believe I said that last turn and it ended up not happening. I mean, none of my stuff has... Okay, so he's activating Yisun. He's just tapping all of his land, I guess, to see how much he has. So he knows which cards in his hand he can play. There's a Nylea. He's untapping Yisun. He's getting up to 5. 5's a fairly high number for Yisun. I do think at this point that I've won the game because I killed 3 people. It's not who's standing in the end. It's who murders the most people. Is how I see it. That's why I like playing like Nekusar because you kill everyone on the same turn most of the time. You just wheel into wheel into wheel with Nekusar out, and they just all take like 50 damage and die. I got a Seaboard Muse to untap on my turn. He's doing it again. Oh, he tapped Patron to get a whole bunch of extra land. So he can ramp up pretty fast. I don't know if it's going to matter against all of my 3/4 plant tokens. He didn't untap. Wait, why are my forests untapped? Perhaps some other effect untapped forests. You got Duplicant. It's probably killing... It's killing... See, I don't get this. So he's going to get a 1/1. So he's going to get a 1/1, and still he can't block any of my stuff. And I could still cast Prime Speaker Zegana if I want to. No, he gets a 2/4. He doesn't get a 1/1. So he's going to continue to do this. I suppose at this point I should probably just F6, since all my stuff got untapped. He has 30 seconds left. I have 52. If my turn comes, I just attack with all and pass, probably. If I had another blue up, I could Aether Spouts if he attacks. It's the only instant in my hand. If he somehow gives me a blue, I will turn off auto yields. But he's probably not going to give me a blue. It'd actually be kind of stupid to give me a blue. If I had time here... Oh yeah, he has Elder Scale Worm. And he concedes anyway. Because he has 2 seconds left. Oh, that's right. If I had time here, and there were more people alive, and I didn't have this ridiculous board, what I'd try to do would probably be Spell Twine and Charlatan it. Now, I don't really have any good just cast a spell type things. I probably would have gotten Primal Command, maybe Explosive Vegetation, probably Explosive Vegetation or Primal Command would have been the things that I would have wanted to get, and I would have wanted to copy it and get the other, I guess, and then some of the things in his deck. So that was a game of Commander with the Prime Speaker gets the Zegana deck. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope we all learned something from this. I suppose that Consecrated Sphinx is for tryhards, and that if you Genesis Wave for 11, you have a pretty good chance of winning if you hit a Avenger of Zendikar. Those are both good cards. I think that's what we learned here. Also learned that time management is very important, especially when your opponents select a 25-minute game instead of like a 40 or 60 like they're supposed to for Commander with multiple players. And people will overvalue counterspells and take them from your hand, and even when you have no real plan of casting them until very late game, when you're just trying to stop infinite combos. So yeah, I will try to do this again next time too. Get a nice little library of Commander games going, and I've probably dragged on long enough.